Planning your next vacation? There are cities in this world that feel like exhaling. Places where you can set your bag down at a sidewalk cafe and walk away to look at something across the street without that particular knot forming in your stomach. Places where the trains run, the streets are lit, the locals are unhurried, and the biggest danger you are likely to face is overspending at a weekend market or missing your flight because you simply did not want to leave. These are not boring cities. Safe and dull are not synonyms, and this list intends to prove it. These are 25 cities where the world is doing something right, and where you're invited to show up and experience it firsthand. Zurich, Switzerland. Zurich is precise, efficient, expensive, and extraordinarily safe. Switzerland's largest city functions as a kind of proof of concept for what urban life can look like when institutions are trusted, public services are well funded, and the gap between the city's richest and poorest residents is kept within manageable bounds. The public transport network is a model studied by transit planners from around the world. The lake and river running through the city are clean enough to swim in during summer, and residents do exactly that. The old town is beautifully preserved. The restaurant scene is quietly exceptional, and the sense of physical security walking any street at any hour is absolute. Zurich is often criticized as sterile or dull by those who have not spent real time there. Those who have tend to understand. Singapore is a city-state of remarkable intentionality. Almost everything about it, from its public transport system to its housing policy to its legal framework, reflects deliberate design choices made with long-term outcomes in mind. The result is one of the cleanest, most orderly and safest urban environments anywhere on Earth. Violent crime is rare to the point of being newsworthy when it occurs. The streets are navigable at any hour. Solo female travelers consistently rate it among their most comfortable destinations globally. The food scene is extraordinary, a direct product of the city's Chinese, Malay, Indian, and Peranakan cultural layers expressing themselves through hawker centers that serve some of the best food in Asia at prices that seem almost implausibly low given the quality. Singapore's strictness is real and occasionally generates debate. But for the visitor, what it produces is a city that simply works. Reykjavik, Iceland. Iceland consistently ranks as the most peaceful country on Earth on the Global Peace Index, and its capital is the living expression of that distinction. Reykjavik is a small city, around 130,000 people in the city proper, compact enough to walk across in an afternoon, and it operates with a social trust that visitors from larger, more complex cities find almost disorienting at first. There is essentially no violent crime. The police are unarmed. People leave strollers with sleeping babies outside cafes while they go inside to order, a practice so normalized that locals are sometimes surprised to learn it strikes visitors as remarkable. The surrounding landscape is extraordinary. Waterfalls and geysers and volcanic terrain within an hour of the city center, and the city itself has a creative, music-driven cultural life far larger than its modest population would suggest. Osaka, Japan. If you are looking for a Japanese city that combines world-class safety with warmth, humor, and an almost religious devotion to food, Osaka is your answer. Osaka's residents have a saying, "Kuidaore," meaning to eat yourself into ruin, and they mean it as a point of civic pride. The street food scene in Dotonbori and Kuromon Market is extraordinary, the kind of concentrated culinary density that justifies entire trips. The city is as safe as anywhere in Japan, which is to say extremely safe, and its people have a reputation within Japan itself for being more openly friendly and comedically inclined than residents of other major cities. Osaka Castle, the atmospheric Shinsekai district, and the ferry connections to Kyoto and Nara sitting nearby all add up to one of Asia's most rewarding and genuinely joyful urban visits. Copenhagen, Denmark. Copenhagen has built a global reputation as a model for livable urban design, and that reputation is substantially deserved. The cycling infrastructure is so comprehensive and so integrated into daily life that the majority of residents commute by bicycle regardless of weather, a fact that has shaped the city's social character in ways that extend beyond transport. Crime rates are low. The welfare state provides a meaningful safety net that reduces desperation-driven crime, and the public spaces, from the harbour baths to Nyhavn to the parks of Frederiksberg, are genuinely and freely enjoyed by everyone. The food culture, built on the legacy of the new Nordic movement that made Copenhagen a global culinary destination in the 2000s, remains exceptional. The city is walkable, bikeable, and welcoming in a way that makes it consistently rank among the world's most visitor-friendly destinations. Vienna, Austria. Vienna has been ranked the world's most livable city by the Economist Intelligence Unit multiple times. And for visitors as much as residents, the reasons become apparent quickly. The public transport system is comprehensive, affordable, and runs through the night on weekends. The historic center is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, its grand boulevards and imperial architecture intact in a way that makes walking it feel like moving through a living museum. Coffeehouse culture, in which sitting for hours over a single melange is not merely tolerated but expected, is a genuine civic institution. The crime rate is low, the streets are clean, and the combination of cultural richness, including some of the world's greatest art collections and music institutions, with genuine day-to-day safety, makes it one of the most complete travel experiences available anywhere in Europe. Amsterdam, Netherlands. Amsterdam is frequently misunderstood by first-time visitors who arrive expecting one version of it and encounter something considerably more layered. Yes, it has the coffee shops and the red light district. It also has the Rijksmuseum, the Anne Frank House, some of Europe's finest canal architecture, a world-class contemporary art scene, and a cycling culture as embedded and comprehensive as Copenhagen's. The city is exceptionally safe by European standards. The street life is vibrant and genuinely cosmopolitan. The Dutch directness that can initially read as bluntness is, on closer acquaintance, a form of honesty that most visitors come to appreciate. The canal ring at night, lit by the glow of houseboats and bridge lights reflected in still water, is among the most beautiful urban environments in the world. Helsinki, Finland. Finland regularly tops global rankings for education, governance, press freedom, and happiness. And Helsinki distills those national qualities into a compact, elegant capital on the Baltic coast. The city is not immediately flashy. It rewards the visitor who slows down. The extraordinary architecture of Alvar Aalto and Eliel Saarinen woven through the city fabric, the sauna culture that is genuinely social rather than merely commercial, the market halls and waterfront, the island fortress of Suomenlinna, a short ferry ride from the city centre. Crime is extremely low, public services are excellent. The sense of design that runs through Finnish culture, visible in everything from the tram stops to the tableware in ordinary cafes, gives the city a quiet, consistent aesthetic coherence that feels restorative rather than performative. Lisbon, Portugal. Lisbon has undergone a transformation in the past 15 years that has made it one of Europe's most visited and most discussed cities. The combination of a genuinely beautiful physical setting, its hills and miradouros, and the blue shimmer of the Tagus estuary, an extraordinary food and wine culture, a music tradition in fado that is unlike anything else in Europe, and prices that remain lower than most comparable Western European capitals, has made it a destination that captures people and does not let go easily. The crime rate is low, the people are warm, The historic neighborhoods of Alfama and Muraria are among the most atmospheric urban environments in Europe, and the light, the particular golden Atlantic light that falls over the city in the late afternoon, is something photographers chase and never quite capture. Melbourne, Australia. Melbourne makes a strong argument for being the most complete city in the Southern Hemisphere. It has the coffee culture, the laneway bar and restaurant scene, the AFL football fanaticism, the world-class gallery and theatre infrastructure, the beach access, and the multicultural food landscape that comes from being one of the world's most genuinely diverse cities by country of birth. It is also consistently safe, with low violent crime rates and a public transport system that covers the city adequately. The city's laneways, which might in another city be neglected or threatening spaces, have been colonized by cafes, street art, boutiques and bars to such an extent that they function as Melbourne's most distinctive social infrastructure. The weather is legendarily unpredictable, but Melburnians treat this as a personality trait rather than a complaint. Toronto, Canada. Toronto is one of the most ethnically diverse cities on Earth, with over 50% of its population born outside Canada, and it wears that diversity as a genuine civic asset rather than a talking point. The city's neighborhoods reflect this directly: Kensington Market, Chinatown, Little Italy, Greek Town, Little Portugal, Little India, each distinct, each functioning, each adding to a city that offers an enormous range of cultural and culinary experience within a compact and walkable geography. Crime rates are low by North American standards. The waterfront has been significantly redeveloped. The arts and music scene is legitimate and deep. And the people, frequently described by visitors as almost aggressively polite, make navigating an unfamiliar city considerably easier than it might otherwise be. Basel, Switzerland. Basel sits at the point where Switzerland, Germany and France converge, and it has used that position to become something unexpected, one of the world's great art cities. Art Basel, the annual fair that has become the most important contemporary art event on the planet, is held here. But the city's relationship with art is not limited to 1 week per year. The Kunstmuseum Basel holds one of Europe's finest permanent collections. The Fondation Beiler, a short tram ride from the center, is routinely described as one of the world's best private museums. The Old Town, straddling the Rhine, is beautifully preserved. The city is small enough to navigate entirely on foot or by the excellent tram network, safe in every part at every hour, and has a quiet confidence that comes from knowing exactly what it is. Edinburgh, Scotland. Edinburgh is a city that takes your breath away before you have even started looking at it properly. The Old Town, built along a volcanic ridge with Edinburgh Castle at its crest and the Palace of Holyrood House at its foot, is one of Europe's most dramatic urban landscapes. The new town below, a masterpiece of Georgian planning, provides a different but equally powerful architectural experience. The city is safe, walkable, and compact enough that most of what you want to see is within easy reach of the center. The pub culture is excellent and genuinely social. The Edinburgh Festival and Fringe, which takes over the city every August, transforms it into the largest arts festival in the world. And the surrounding landscape, including Arthur's Seat, the ancient volcano within the city boundary, gives Edinburgh a relationship with wild nature that almost no other European capital can match. Seoul, South Korea. Seoul is one of the great underrated travel destinations in the world, a city of 10 million people that operates with a safety and efficiency that rivals anywhere in Japan while offering a cultural experience that is entirely its own. The street food culture, from the Pojangmatcha tents to the night markets of Gwangjang, is extraordinary. The palaces of the Joseon dynasty sit amid the modern city like anchors, surrounded by hanok villages where traditional architecture has been preserved and inhabited. The beauty and skincare culture that has made K-beauty a global phenomenon is immediately and fascinatingly visible in the city's shopping districts. The subway system is extensive, clean, and equipped with free Wi-Fi. Solo female travelers consistently rate Seoul among the safest cities they have visited anywhere in the world. Wellington, New Zealand. Wellington is a small capital city on the southern tip of New Zealand's North Island, regularly swept by winds strong enough to have generated an entire local identity around the concept of the Windy City. It is also, by most measures, one of the most pleasant urban environments in the Pacific. The waterfront has been beautifully developed. The Te Papa National Museum is world-class and free, the coffee culture rivals Melbourne's, and the concentration of excellent restaurants relative to the city's modest population creates a dining scene that punches well above its weight. The city is safe, walkable, compact, and has a creative culture rooted partly in its role as the home of Weta Workshop and the production infrastructure that made the Lord of the Rings films possible. Tallinn, Estonia. Tallinn's medieval old town is one of the best preserved in Europe and a UNESCO World Heritage Site, its limestone towers and cobblestone streets intact in a way that larger, more heavily bombed European cities cannot match. Estonia as a whole is one of the world's most digitally advanced societies, having pioneered e-governance, digital voting, and online public services since the 1990s. And that forward-looking national culture exists in interesting contrast with the medieval physical fabric of the capital. The city is extremely safe, smaller and more manageable than many European capitals, and offers a genuine historical and cultural experience at prices significantly lower than Western Europe. The Christmas market in the Old Town Square is among the most atmospheric in Europe. Bern, Switzerland. Switzerland's federal capital is perhaps its most undervisited city, overshadowed by Zurich's financial prestige and Geneva's international profile. This is an oversight worth correcting. Bern's old town, built almost entirely of honey-colored sandstone arcades that have sheltered pedestrians from rain and snow since the medieval period, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site of extraordinary coherence. The city sits on a bend of the Aare River, and in summer, locals float downstream through the city on inflatable rings, a practice that is both absurd and entirely charming. The Bear Pits, Albert Einstein's apartment, the Rose Garden overlooking the city, the Federal Palace, the farmers' markets. Bern is a city of quiet, layered pleasures that rewards those who slow down enough to find them. Kyoto, Japan. Kyoto was the imperial capital of Japan for over 1,000 years, and the weight of that history is present in every district. The city contains over 1,600 Buddhist temples, 400 Shinto shrines, and 17 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. It is also, by the standards of a city carrying that much history, remarkably navigable and safe. The geisha districts of Gion and Pontosha retain a living, functioning cultural tradition rather than a merely decorative one. The bamboo grove of Arashiyama, the golden pavilion of Kinkakuji, the thousands of torii gates of Fushimi Inari climbing the mountain behind the shrine, these are not tourist reconstructions. They are the real thing, maintained and inhabited and used. Kyoto in November, when the maple trees turn and the temple gardens fill with color, is one of the most beautiful urban experiences available anywhere on Earth. Ljubljana, Slovenia. Ljubljana is Europe's best-kept secret, and it seems, somewhat incredibly, determined to remain one. Slovenia's capital of around 300,000 people has a storybook old town centered on a hilltop castle, a river running through the center lined with outdoor cafes, and a car-free zone in the historic core that makes wandering it a genuine pleasure. The city is completely safe. The food and wine scene draws on the remarkable diversity of Slovenian cuisine, which sits at the intersection of Mediterranean, Alpine and Central European traditions, and the prices are significantly lower than Western Europe. Day trips to Lake Bled, the Postojna Caves, and the Adriatic coast at Piran are all within easy reach. Ljubljana is the city that travelers stumble into between other destinations and end up extending their stay. Taipei, Taiwan. Taipei does not always get the credit it deserves as a travel destination, partly because Taiwan's complicated international status means it sits outside some of the standard frameworks of global tourism conversation. The city itself is exceptional. The night markets, particularly Shilin and Rauhe, are among the best street food environments in Asia. The National Palace Museum holds one of the world's greatest collections of Chinese imperial art. The city is extraordinarily safe. The MRT subway system is clean and efficient, and the people have a reputation for kindness to visitors that is not merely anecdotal, but consistently documented across years of traveler accounts. The surrounding mountain trails, hot springs in Beitou, and the dramatic northeast coast are all accessible within an hour of the city center. Abu Dhabi, UAE Abu Dhabi, is frequently overshadowed by its more flamboyant neighbor Dubai, and in some respects that works in its favor. The capital of the United Arab Emirates is a genuinely safe city with low crime rates, excellent infrastructure, and a cultural investment in recent years that has produced world-class institutions. The Louvre Abu Dhabi, designed by Jean Nouvel, is one of the most architecturally remarkable museums built anywhere in the world in the past 2 decades. The Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque is among the most beautiful religious buildings on earth by almost any aesthetic measure. The city's relationship between its extraordinary wealth and its traditional Gulf culture creates a particular character that rewards visitors willing to engage with it on its own terms, rather than simply as a luxury destination. Vancouver, Canada. Vancouver has a geography that gives it an almost unfair advantage. Mountains to the north, Pacific Ocean to the west, the Fraser Valley to the east. The city sits in a physical setting of such dramatic beauty that simply being there produces a particular kind of contentment. The city is safe, diverse, and has one of the best urban park systems in North America in Stanley Park. The food scene reflects its Pacific Rim position and its substantial Asian Canadian population in ways that make it one of the best cities in the world for Japanese, Chinese, Korean, and Vietnamese food outside those countries of origin. The downtown east side has persistent and serious issues with drug poverty that the city has not yet solved. But the visitor experience across the vast majority of Vancouver's geography is comfortable, welcoming, and genuinely beautiful. Prague, Czech Republic. Prague survived the 20th century with its historic center more intact than almost any other Central European capital, and the result is a city of quite extraordinary architectural beauty. The medieval old town, the Jewish quarter, the castle complex above the river, the Charles Bridge at dawn before the tourist crowds arrive, these are urban environments of genuine, almost overwhelming historical density. The city is safe, the public transport is excellent, and the cost of living, while higher than it was a decade ago, remains lower than Western European capitals. The beer culture is serious, and the food has improved dramatically from its post-communist reputation. Prague rewards the visitor who gets up early to walk its streets before the day tours begin, when the city briefly becomes itself again. Doha, Qatar. Doha has transformed itself at a speed that has few parallels in modern urban history. A generation ago, it was a modest Gulf town. Today, it is a city of extraordinary museums, a beautifully restored historic souk, a waterfront corniche that is one of the most pleasant urban walks in the Middle East, and infrastructure built to international standards across virtually every category. The Museum of Islamic Art, designed by IMP and housing one of the world's greatest collections of Islamic art and artifacts, would be a crown jewel in any city on earth. Crime is extremely low, the city is clean, and the combination of genuine cultural depth and modern amenity makes it a more rewarding destination than its brief time on the international tourist circuit might suggest. It is a city still in the process of becoming, and there is something genuinely exciting about watching that happen. Bruges, Belgium. Bruges is the city that time forgot, and it has the good sense to be grateful for it. This small medieval city in the Flemish region of northwestern Belgium preserved its historic centre through a combination of economic decline in the post-medieval period and deliberate conservation in the modern one, and the result is a canal network, a market square, and a collection of Gothic architecture that together constitute one of the most intact medieval urban environments in Northern Europe. The city is completely safe, compact enough to explore entirely on foot or by bicycle, and has a chocolate and beer culture that justifies its reputation as one of Europe's great culinary pleasures in miniature. It can feel crowded during peak season, but arrive on a weekday morning in early spring or late autumn and Bruges reveals itself as something close to magical, its stone bridges and still canals reflecting a skyline that has barely changed in 500 years. 25 cities. 25 arguments that the world is, in many of its corners, doing something right. That safety and beauty and cultural richness are not in competition with each other but are, when a city is functioning as it should, the same thing expressed in different forms. These cities are proof that the world remains worth visiting, worth wandering, worth the particular kind of attention that only travel can produce. The bag set down at the sidewalk cafe. The street turned down on instinct. The meal that lasts 3 hours because no one wants to leave. The world is full of that. Go find it.